Before our next guest settled into a career as a stand-up comic and a comedy writer, he considered a very different career until one fateful day. Please join me in welcoming Mojak Lehoko.
Hello everyone, how are you? My name is Mojak Lehoko. I'm a comedian and writer. Comedian if this goes well. Writer if it doesn't. I studied quantity surveying. Do you know what that is, Braham? Neither do I. But in high school, I had a very different dream or idea of what I wanted to become, rather. I was a big fan of hip-hop music. Hip-hop was a big thing in my life. I kind of viewed hip-hop as poetry, philosophy, sometimes sermon. One of my favorite rappers of all time is the notorious B.I.G., also known as Christopher Wallace. He has a lyric in the song, Sky's the Limit. He says, if the game shakes me or breaks me, I hope it makes me a better man, take a better stand, put money in my mom's hand, give my daughter this college grant so she doesn't need no man. Stay far from timid, but only make moves when your heart's in it. Praise the sky, sky's the limit. Something like that. I messed it up. But anyway, the point is that like it always gave me impetus and some kind of like things to look forward to and insights into the world, right? That's how I viewed hip-hop music. It was like this kind of guiding arrow. And in high school, I decided to become a rapper. Unfortunately, when I was a rapper, it was a very different time for hip-hop artists. Hip-hop artists did not have watermelon-flavored vodka. There were no... there were no big deals happening. Nobody was buying ringtones for advertising campaigns. It was really tough. Like we were all super broke. We used to wear FUBU, which stood for us, by us. Ironically made in China, not the point. It was still really cool. What we do in rap back in the day, you had to compete with people. Rap is a very competitive genre of music, right? So what we do is we'd come together and we'd battle. We'd be in a cipher, basically outstand against somebody. Like, imagine a roast battle, but with a beat. That's how it would happen. And so you'd have everyone in a circle, kind of surrounding each other. And there was a beatboxer. There was always a beatboxer. The guy we didn't trust with words. That's the guy we were like, you're just gonna make the music. Beatboxing is very simple. You basically, you're right. Sometimes people try to spice it up, like when I go, you go. So there'd be a dude. But the messed up thing about being a beatboxer is that you were the most replaceable person. Like in the cipher, we'd go, okay, your turn. Can you beatbox? The person would be like, no. We were like, do you have a mouth? Well, then yes, you can. You can beatbox. That's all you needed, right? And what we'd do is we'd go up against each other, and you'd basically be making fun of the person against you. I'll show you. Like, let's make up an imaginary person as a group. So this person is a rapper, but what's their side job that they do to help pursue their career? Go ahead, shout something out. Not all at once. All right, let's try. Okay, let's try with the game. I'm going to shout 1, 2, 3. You shout your favorite color. You guys ready? Yes. 1, 2, 3. All right. Okay, you're getting into the game. I'm gonna 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna say, and you guys say your favorite car model. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3. Right. We're not judging. It's a safe space for all of us. So now we're gonna build this person, this character. You guys ready? Yeah. So on the count of 3, what does this person do? 1, 2, 3. Comedian, right? That's that's gonna end terribly. Let's try another. Any other profession? Is a what? A hairdresser. Okay, we got hairdresser. That's cool. What's their favorite sporting team? Wrestling. Favorite sporting team. Okay, we'll use that. Hey, there's no judgment. All right. So a hairdresser who likes wrestling. Where are they from? Where is this hairdresser from? From Pietermaritzburg, right? That rhymes with nothing. You guys are making this really tough. What's their favorite hobby or pastime? Knitting. As I said, if this goes well, comedian. If not, all right. So basically, you'd be standing against the person. You'd be like, "Yo, your rhymes are so whack. I'm rhyming. You ain't spitting. I got real hobbies. While on the side, you out here knitting. It's fitting that I take you down, hit you like a berg. It's absurd that you came all the way from Pietermaritzburg just to drop these rhymes, and you feeling all this pressure. Why don't you get cut from the cipher just like a hairdresser? You know what I mean? Like that was the kind of like." So that's what we would do, right? And then that would happen. People would go, woo! Again, no money, still broke. So, like, So like it was an unsustainable career path, you know what I mean? Like, cause there was no money at the time. So what happened with me is that I decided that I didn't just want to be in ciphers, I wanted to make music too. So we had this old Packard Bell at home, and I got a bootleg version of this what is called a DAW, a digital audio workstation. It's basically a software that allows you to make beats, right? And my father had bought me this old Casio keyboard back in the day. I found some way to connect it, and I'd kind of spend day and night making music, these instruments, like trying to find the right snare or the right bass drum or the right hi-hat. This would be like my therapy sometimes, right? I'd be in the zone where I'd space out, and for those few hours, that's all I cared about, making sure that I had nice riffs, I had cool loops, and then I'd go and I'd write some lyrics, bars as we call them in hip-hop culture, we'd write bars. So I'd make these beats and write these songs, and then I'd play them to people, but I've always been very precious about music. It's a very difficult thing for me to share. I can do stand-up wherever, like I kind of don't care, people laugh, I bomb, I can keep it moving, right? But there's something about music that kind of reveals the state of mind that you're in at the particular moment that you make it, right? Like if you could tell the mood I was in based on the music I was making at the time, right? So I'd make music and I'd play it for people, and there's this thing that people do when they play your music. They pretend like they're not looking for you to react, but secretly they're waiting for you to like bob your head and be like, oh, this is dope. So we'll play a song and just be like chilling, and then look over you. You look and look, no reaction, no reaction. Okay, let's try the next one, and play. And I play these beats and these songs for all these people. And eventually, I would take my music to other producers and rappers, because that's the idea, right? You take your music to other people, because if you can make music for yourself and other people can appreciate it, then they can translate it into whatever they want to make. So I tried that for a bit. It didn't quite work out. I went back to the roots, the ciphering thing. And one day, I was in a cipher, it's kind of high school era, and we were all in this group, and there was a weird thing that happened with like hip hop culture a few years ago, is that everybody like picked up an accent that didn't quite match where they were from. Like, no, everyone just all of a sudden had like these weird like American accents. You're like, yo fam, you know what's all about, we out here, man, you know what's how it is, yeah. They were like, you are from Garangua. This is not making sense. So that was like a thing that happened in the hip hop community, you know, and so these guys were in a cipher, we were all battling, and I was doing really well in this one battle, and the guy I was against decided, you know what, I'm not just going to use rhymes, I'm going to use props, right? And he did this rhyme, I don't remember what it was, something like, yo, my rhymes are so dope, it's so fat, and that's why I'm going to pull out this gat. And he pulled out a gun, right? And I'm like, holy shit, like, I like rap, but not this much. You know what I mean? Like I'm not willing to die for it, because this wasn't going to be like an East versus West Coast beef. This was like Brie versus North. Like nobody would have written about this shit. It wouldn't have been in XXL or Source, or it might have made the Daily Sun. You know what I mean? Like at best. And on that day I decided like this was not the path for me, right? I decided to quit this, kind of revert to going to university. I did quantity surveying. In my third year, things weren't working out. I tried stand-up for a bit, and it gave me the same kind of feeling that rap had given me, like expressing yourselves and getting this immediate reaction from people. Like that's the thing that stand-ups love, or that performers love. The immediacy of the craft. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, it's a kind of honest form of expression. And I think this is my path now. I've been doing stand-up for 8 years. I could have gone in a totally different direction. And often I am sitting at home. I've got friends who are professionals. A lot of them super stressed out because they have to do these major projects like Medupi or renovations at malls. And so they're on these tight budgets, and they got to make sure that these projects are on time and delivered to the principal agent. And they're making great money and they're building families. And I'm like, hey, I could have taken that path. Could this have been better? And I like to think that I kind of live the life I've always wanted to live. I do what I want to do. I do it on my own terms. I wake up when I wake up. I write when I write. I perform to people. If they enjoy it, they do. If they don't, I go back to the drawing board and I pick myself up. So regardless of where life takes you, the point is that you just make the most of it. Dedicate yourself to whatever it is that you're doing. And in the end, it'll hopefully all work out. Thank you. Thank you very much.